Hey guys, it is me again. Sorry about taking so long there, but as usual, my computer's acting up, acting slow. So by the time it gave me a screen and said I was recording, it showed already I've recorded 6 seconds of video. So anyway, guys, today is Sunday, March 4th. Makes it day 64 of our Daily Bread project. Guys, I hate it when I'm right about some stuff. I predicted back in January, last year about the middle of January, we already had snow every week, every day, pretty much from the beginning of winter. And this year, actually the first day of February, I guess probably when I said it, right around the 1st of February, we still hadn't had any snows really. I mean, a little skiff here and there. And I said, you wait and see, we'll have all of our winter in February and March. Well, so far we've had more winter in February. And here we are, what did I say, the 4th day of March. It's snowing outside right now. And they're giving 1 to 3 inches. I hope that we don't get that much. I mean, we don't have much yet so far. I hope that we get like less than an inch or something, That way it ain't too bad, it ain't too bad to manage, as far as keeping everything, your driveway's clean and all that kind of stuff. And when you've got cars like we do down there right now, 4 or 5 cars to work on, it just makes everything a mess. They got that much, 5 or 6 inches of snow on them, and you've got to get the driveway and everything cleaned up first, and you've got to get all them swept off, and it just makes everything so hard when you've got snow, especially if it's 3, 4, 5 inches. So pray for that, guys. You guys see this tonight, that we don't get too much snow. So let's see what else, guys. We had a great. No, I ain't gonna say good. We had a great time at church today. Had our singers in there, and really did had a great time. The boys that usually sung, and then the girl that sings, she'll sing maybe about once a month or something. She's got the voice of an angel. She sung, and then these guys sung, and we had a good time, guys. Really did. Had it's one of them deals. It's funny how your perspective changes. Back when I first took this pastoring job, we were averaging 25 people, every Sunday. Maybe not hardly 25, maybe a little less than 25, but in that neighborhood, would have 30 every now and then, and this and that. I mean, it's kind of funny back when I first took it. If you just said you're going to, well, so what? What's your point? What, big deal. But it's funny, now that,
like I've told you guys, it's just, some people that fell away, some people that left and got mad at each other, and still got some people feuding and won't come because they won't talk to each other. Nothing to do with the church or me or anything else. It's, well, I'm mad at him, and as long as he's going to go to church there, I'm not going to go with him. That kind of stuff, like I said, which kills me. But anyway, so we went from averaging 25 people now to averaging 15 to 20, maybe. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at, guys, we had 30 people there today, and that really tickled me. Like I said, had a good time. And I know the amount of people don't matter. I mean, and I've quit worrying about that. It's the Lord's will that He grows it. He'll grow it. If not, you're supposed to take care of the flock that you're given, whether it's 30 people or 20 people or 10 or 5 or 100 or whatever that may be. So it's like I've said, and I truly do mean that. I'd rather have a 10-person church, as long as we can still get by, and have those 10 people really seeking after the Lord and serving the Lord, as having a 100-person church and having 10 people seeking the Lord and 90 not seeking. And sad fact of the matter is, most of your churches, especially your bigger churches, that's what you have. You have a few there that are really there for the right reason, and you have the majority that are there either just to be seen, or they go there just to say, well, this is the big fancy church for the area, so I'm going to go here, rub shoulders with the big shots, and that's just the truth. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is, guys, we had 30 people, had a good time, had good food, you know, had the singers enjoyed it. They did a good job. You know, they stayed and fellowshiped with us and ate. So, had a really, really good time. I mean, you could really feel the Spirit of the Lord today. I mean, it really energized me. So, I'm still a little bit tired tonight from walking the 8 miles like I told you guys about yesterday, but not too bad, to be honest. I figured when I got out of bed this morning I wouldn't be able to walk, but, you know, I can feel it in my legs just a little bit, but other than that, you know, no big deal. So that's pretty good, but let's see, guys, what else? You guys that have watched and already commented on my furnace door project video, I appreciate that, guys. I've not went and actually checked the comments yet. I've just got the emails, you know, showing that you guys have a comment. Speaking of which, I did want to mention this to you guys, and I don't know if they're just doing this to people that make videos, or they may just be getting your channel name. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I've got 2 or 3 emails today and yesterday, from supposedly YouTube, but it's not YouTube, or at least I'm 99.99.99% sure it's not YouTube. Because for one thing, this says funny stuff like the email, it said it's from YouTube, and I mean they had their insignia, their what is it, their address, whatever it is, whatever Cherry Drive, whatever, you know, California, but it just said your video has been approved, and I'm sitting there going, what approved for what? What have I had, you know? And when I clicked on the link, and it says www.youtube blah 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 /watch blah blah, just like YouTube's. But when you put your mouse over it and you look down in your browser and it shows you the address it's going to, it's not a YouTube address. So anyway, I clicked on it. I didn't notice that at first, and all my malware and virus, everything popped up and said this is a very dangerous site. You know, these type of sites typically have a lot of viruses and this and that, and you know, do you want to still go on? And just luckily I hit no. I got one that said your video is at the top, and that's all it said from YouTube. You know, your video is at the top. It didn't say top of the most watched list, or top of this, or top of that. Just at the top. So, guys, reason I'm telling you all this, be aware. If I'm getting these fake YouTube emails, you guys will probably get them too. So, watch out for that. I don't want anybody to crash your computer over that stuff. Just luckily, like I said, that my malware program popped up and caught it, and because if not, I would have went right straight there, because it looks like it's from YouTube, but it's not. So, having said that, Brother Darren, if you see this, buddy, I hope you're all right. No videos from you today. That's the reason I'm hoping you're all right. You know, like, that's just kind of, I mean, I know you're probably just, you know, probably had a hard weekend, probably worked yourself too much and run down and all that. At least I'm hoping that's what it is, and you're not feeling too bad. So, you know, like I said, you guys, especially like Darren, that, you know, I make one video at least every day, but, you know, Darren makes usually 2 or 3 a day. And you get used to seeing somebody that's made 2 or 3, you know, making 2 or 3 videos a day, every day, then they're not there, you know. So, brother, I hope we hear from you soon. I hope you comment. You know, hope you make a video tomorrow. Like I said, I hope everything's all right. I did email Andrea. I just want to tell you this. If you do see this, I emailed Andrea this evening. I need her to price me some stuff. Guy at church, I think he's wanting me to paint his car. But, well, I'm going to paint the hood, the top, and the spoiler on the back, and then the top of one of the fenders. Top of one of the front fenders. And so I'm thinking a quart of base will do it. So I emailed her the paint coat off the car, told her to price me a quart of base and reducer and a gallon of clear, because I don't think a quart would do that, because it took me almost, well, it took me a quart and a half to do Mom's car, which Mom's car's a little bigger than a Mustang. It's on a Mustang. But to do the top and the trunk's smaller than the hood, you know, like on set on Mom's car, to a quart and a half, which, to be honest, I probably put it on too thick. I tend to really hammer the clear on, but
In my opinion, if you can get it on fairly good, thicker the better, you know. But anyway, what I'm just trying to say is I don't think a quart of clear will do it. We'll do all what we need to do on this car. And if you're going to buy 2 quarts, you might as well buy a gallon, because you can buy a gallon for what 2 quarts cost. So, I mean, I had to buy that, and I didn't realize. If I'd have realized it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I bought that quart of clear the other day down here at the parts house, and by the time I bought the clear and the activator, it was almost $50. Well, you know, you can get a gallon for $100. So, or right at 100. So, anyway, I told her what, you know, I told her to price me the MSB base, the reducer, and the cheapest clear she could. You know, this guy's a good. He's a trustee. He's a deacon in the church. You know, he's got a lot of kids, and you know, he don't have much money to spend. I told her to price me the cheapest thing, the cheapest, you know, stuff that you guys would use, that you would use, something not totally junk, but something that at least I can get by with. So anyway, and I told her to price me, if she asks you about it, a desiccant snake, that DeVilbiss desiccant snake. I don't know if those are any good or not, but I figure anything DeVilbiss is going to make is going to be pretty good. So I told her to price me one of those. I know they got them in the Auto Body Times. So told her to price me one of those. And if this guy, and I'll go ahead and be honest about it, brother. Like I said, I even said it in my other video. This guy may have to charge his paint locally. You know, I don't know what he's going to do yet. If he shucks out money, I'm going to get it from you guys. You know, but if he says, well, I'm going to have to charge it at the parts house, then I kind of got to do what he wants to do. But like I said, if he pays cash for it, I'm going to order it from you all, because you guys got good stuff, and I want to support somebody that I know and love. So anyway, I guess that's about it. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of check on Darren there, tell him that I miss him, thinking about him. All you guys, like I said last night, Brother John, hope y'all are doing all right. I know y'all got the same string of tornadoes that come through Kentucky and Indiana and Ohio that tore up Jack. Luckily, we didn't get any. We don't get any tornadoes usually up here in the mountains much. I mean, you hear one every now and then, and I think there was one touchdown within about 60, 65 miles of here. Just really when you start and get in the mountains here, you know. There was Campton is where it's at. It's you know, like I said, it's about an hour and a half away from here, maybe about 80 miles. And when the land starts flattening out a little bit down toward Lexington, that's where I think the last tornado was. So these mountains evidently block tornadoes, or they dissipate tornadoes, because you never hear of a tornado actually getting up here in these mountains. Of course, it's like my mom's always kind of joked, if we ever do get one in here, we're all destroyed, because it'll just bounce back and forth off the mountains and it wipes everything out. But anyway, Brother John, I'm trying to get out. I hope y'all are all right. And if you need anything, brother, let me know. Let's see, guys. I guess that's about all I need to do as far as the jibber jabber tonight. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 17 is where we're going to start tonight. So let's get on with the important part tonight, and that is, of course, the Word of God. Alright, guys. 1 Corinthians 10:17. For we, being many, are one bread and one body. For we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Israel, after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with the devils. He said, I don't want you to have fellowship with people that do that. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Guys, and I don't know if this is really what Paul's trying to say to everybody, and I don't know if what you're getting out of this, but one thing I take out of this that we can relate to our normal everyday lives, just like when you get saved, guys, and I know most of you will agree with this. I hope all of you do, because I know that it's the truth. You've probably experienced it. When you get saved, guys, and you change your life, the Lord changes your life, you can't go back. Not to say that you can't that you have to hide from everybody, but you can't go back and fellowship with the people that you did. If you were into drinking and going to bars and all that, but once you get saved, you can't keep doing that. Even if you don't drink, you know, you can't go hang around those same people and be subject to that, because that's temptation. You just don't want to be there. If you were on drugs, you can't hang around the same old druggy friends. I mean, that's just the truth. You can't be partakers of both sides, is what Paul's saying here. And that's one reason, is because even if you're not doing it, even if you're just there, that's temptation, and that's going to get you right back into the things you shouldn't be doing. So, verse 22, do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? See, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. See, I like what Paul's saying here. He's saying, as a Christian, not living under the law, Jesus will forgive what we do when we do sin. So he's saying, really there's not this certain set of laws that I have to keep now. But just because that does not mean it says all things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. See, he's saying just because you can do it and ask forgiveness for it and get forgiven from it, still doesn't mean you should do it, because it doesn't edify you. It doesn't, it doesn't do you good. It doesn't pick you up. It doesn't serve the Lord. So just because you can get forgiveness for it does not mean that you should still be doing it. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Let me read that again. I think I messed up on it. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. I read it right. Just didn't sound right. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, excuse me, guys, my eyes bother me, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. He's saying what he's saying there. He's talking about the Lord. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. He's saying the Lord's made everything. And, Paul uses eating as an example a lot here, because that was a big deal back in this day, back in the Jews' day. What they could eat, what they couldn't eat, what they were supposed to eat. And that's one thing Paul's saying here. He's saying the Lord made the whole earth and everything in it. So, just like he showed Peter in the vision. He said, everything I made is good. You can eat it. Now that I've came and, you're not under the law anymore, you can eat anything you want because I made it. Which he was also showing Peter, just as he showed Paul, that he was also trying to show him through his example that, not only the Jew was clean enough to be saved, just like the clean food, but the Gentile was also going to be able to be saved. No, that's like me, guys. I'm not going to lie about it. I don't eat nothing that comes out of the water. I ate fish sticks a little bit when I was a little kid, but that was about it. But, I don't eat any shrimp. I don't eat clams. I don't eat oysters. I don't eat scallops. I don't eat, like I said, lobster, crab. I just think it's gross. I don't not eat it because I say, well, it's not clean or whatever, which at one time it wasn't. To me, crabs and lobsters, things, that kind of stuff. Let's see, we quit in verse 28, didn't we? Yeah. Anyway, no, we quit in verse 27. Anyway, what I was trying to say, guys, that stuff's bottom dwellers. It sits there and sucks mud off the bottom of the ocean, basically, and eats. And, I don't eat it because I just don't like it. I think, I eat shrimp a little bit when I was a little kid, and then I got to where I just didn't like it. I guess when I found out what it was and got to looking at it. But like I said, guys, I don't eat it because I don't like it. Got nothing to do with it being clean or anything like that. So that's what Paul's kind of saying here. He's saying, you can't eat anything. And he's using, like I said, he used an example. He's not just talking about the eating. He's again showing the difference between the Jew and the Gentile. And he's saying that what the Jew has been judging themselves on the Levitical law, you no longer have to do that. But he's saying you still got to use your common sense. Just like he was talking about there. You don't go have fellowship with people that are sacrificing things to devils. You know, you don't do it. You know, you got to use your common sense. You got to edify yourself. You got to edify the Lord. You know, that's kind of like today. You know, we were talking about that at church. You know, you got to use what the Lord's give you. You know, one of the singers, and I'll try to make this quick, guys. I know I'm already over 20 minutes. He was talking about he went into a church and he requested prayer last. It's been within the last few years. You know, Charlie Louvin, you know, the Louvin brothers did the old songs, you know, back in the day. You know, pretty famous, you know, most people have heard of them, at least people that used to follow music. Anyway, this guy that sung today, he actually knew Charlie Louvin, you know, and actually, you know, eat with him and talked with him and, you know, was friends with him. And he was talking about he requested prayer for him at a church right before he passed away. He was sick. And he said one of the people met him as they was coming out the door and said, I cannot believe that you requested prayer in a church for that old country, you know, no good singer, you know, vagrant, basically saying, you know, him, you know, just he's lived this life and done this and done that. And, you know, that's what he was talking about. He said, I told him, said, listen, you know, we as Christians, we got to pray for, you know, you can't just be concerned about yourself and your own family, you know. And number one, he was talking about, he said, you don't know somebody's soul. You don't know if they're saved or not. So, you know, you can't go judging them. That's God's job. And he said, you know, it's our job to pray for these people, you know, regardless. You know, the Lord wants us to pray for people. The Lord wants us to think about other people. We can't be so selfish. You know, like I said, it's going back to using your common sense, guys. So, anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I got to get off here. It's already late. Guys, normal stuff, normal prayer requests. Pray for me in the church. Pray for my business this week. Keep praying, guys, that we'll sell that camper and that motorhome and all. And that motorhome. No, the camper and that Ram Charger and everything. You know, I've given it to the Lord. I've put it on his shoulders. I said, Lord, me and Dad prayed tonight. I didn't even pray about it. I said, Lord, I've already brought this to you. You tell us in your word that the best way to get our own prayers answered is to pray for other people and not even pray about our own stuff, because you know what we need anyway. So, you know, I said, I've already put it on you. You've not forgotten it. You don't forget anything. You know what we need. Here you go. So, anyway, guys, you all pray for that. I'm praying for you all. If you need anything, let me know. Good Lord willing, guys, I'll be here tomorrow night. Until I see y'all again. And please, guys, pray about this weather, that we don't get much snow, that the power don't go out again. You know, this is kind of deja vu. You know, about 3 Sunday nights ago or 2 Sunday nights ago, whatever it was, is when we lost power. So, always get these big snows on Sunday. But anyway, guys, pray for all those things. Pray that we'll stay in power. Pray that we'll get to work and the snow won't be too big. Pray for my business, that it'll stay busy, you know. And I appreciate it. Love you guys, like I said. I'll be here tomorrow night if the Lord wills it. So good night. God bless.